Hey, welcome to You Can Fix It. This is my 4-month review of my CSC SG250. It's May 2019 and I got this back in January 2019. I put about 300 miles on it. I don't get to ride it as much as I would like. So with only being at 300 miles, I haven't had a chance to do the 500 mile first service. But all in all, this is a real owner's review of this bike. And just to start off, I would recommend purchasing this bike. To help you guys out, I'll tell you a little bit of my story of how I came across the bike and how I decided to purchase it. I saw it on RevZilla's review back in December 2018. And I was hooked ever since. At the time, I was in the market for a new bike. I had just sold my old bike. I had an old CB350. I love that bike, but I don't get to ride as much as I used to. I got a wife and kids and all that, so I get busy. But basically, I got rid of that bike. That was a great bike. It was older bike. It was a 1973, so it's 45 years old, and the more it sat, the more gummed up it would get, and I couldn't ride it as much as I liked, because once it sat and I was ready to ride it, I'd have to fix it and do something to it. So I saw RevZilla's review of this, and they said how it's, old technology, it's simple, it's carbureted, single cylinder, 250 cc's, and it's only, $2,400 brand new, shipped to your front door. So I was hooked from that point. I did some more research on it, and they put CSC, it's made by Zhongshin. CSC imports it to the United States, and Zhongshin, they're the second largest motorcycle manufacturer in China, I believe. So I had a concern with it being a Chinese bike, but did some research. I heard a lot of good things about Zhongshin, and they make a lot of components that are on the Japanese and American bikes that we all ride today. So hearing that made me feel better about it. Another concern of mine is I live on the East Coast. CSC is on the West Coast. So there's no way I could go test ride one or sit on one and see if it was too small for me. So one of my biggest concerns after reliability was height, or how it would hold up with my height. So I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and I was concerned I didn't want to order this bike, have it shipped to me across the country, and then it not be a good fit. So height-wise, I did some decent research. On the RevZilla video, RevZilla did a video on this bike with Spurgeon, okay? He's a big guy. He's like over 6 foot, and I found where RevZilla also did an article. So Spurgeon wrote an article review on this bike, and from the article that Spurgeon wrote is where they made the video from. So in the article, there's a little more details, and there's a point in the article when he says, there's a long seat on this, looks like it's for a passenger. There's foot pegs on the back here, if you want to carry a passenger. And then in the article he says, well, good luck getting a passenger on here with my 6'4", 230 pound frame. So when I read that, I thought, man, that's a big dude. I'm 6 foot 200, he's 6'4", 230. If he can fit on it, I can. So I watched the video over and over again, seeing him riding around on it, and then looked at pictures of him riding on it, kind of did my research. Then CSC posted some videos where there's a guy at CSC that sits on the bike. He says, hey, I'm 5'10", 180, and it fits me fine. So all in all, it's a good fit. Again, I am 6 foot, 200 pounds, and it fits me just right. I'll post another video of me sitting on it so you can see what I look like on it. It is a little underpowered, but it's just a 250. As it's been breaking in, I can tell it finds more power, so that's good. But it's not going to win any speed records, but it is also able to get out of its own way, though. So my old Honda CB350, that did have a lot more power than this, but this is still fun. It gets you where you're going. what I like about this bike, I like old bikes, so I like the style, I like the old technology on it. It's got one of Honda's, basically in the 70s, Honda, late 60s, early 70s, Honda started selling motorcycles around the world. They did really well with sales in the United States and Europe and Japan, of course. And then they started selling them in third world countries like in South America. And their bikes at the time, they were selling okay in South America, but they were breaking down a whole lot because in South America and third world countries, people didn't have the time or know how to do the regular maintenance on their bikes. So Honda developed what they call the CG125 engine. So they came up with a 125cc single cylinder engine just to sell on bikes in third world countries. And that engine needs little to no maintenance. And it can just keep going and going. So what this engine is, after the patent lapsed on that CG engine, a lot of Chinese companies started making it. So this is the Honda CG engine, copied from a 125, but this is bigger at, I believe they say it's a 250, but it's technically 230 cc's. So it's a very low maintenance engine, but it's also based on very old technology from the early 70s, which I love. So you can work on this bike yourself, do all the maintenance yourself. It's carbureted, not fuel injected. There's no computers on it or anything, so that's what I love. It's basically still a machine. But it's a great bike. If I missed anything, you can ask me some questions and I can answer them, but all in all, I would recommend this bike. It's been a great bike. If you like old technology and you just want a bike to cruise around on and not set any speed records with, and you enjoy working on your own bikes and cars and all that, I think this bike would be a great fit for you. I'm not paid by CSC or anything. I'm just an owner of this bike and I love it. Again, I've had it for about 300 miles and 5 months. When I do the 500-mile service on it, I'll let you guys know, but all in all, it's been a good bike. With every ride, it picks up more power as that engine breaks in more. But I'll start it up and let you hear it real quick. So it's got a petcock on it, and you're going to turn the petcock down to let the fuel out. Going to turn the key into the on position and fire it up. Sounds pretty good. It has a dirt bike or, tractor sound to it, a little agricultural because of that single cylinder, but it's really cool. I love it. Here's more of the sound. But it's a great bike all in all. So thanks for watching. If I missed anything, ask me some questions and I'll answer them. Thank you.